So what's going on, y'all? It's your man Hellfire with MachineMasters.com, back with another incredible sample pack review. But first, let me remind you guys to make sure you hit that subscribe button and you also hit the little bell button so you guys know when we drop videos. And also, if you could do your man a favor, hit that like button. It'll be gladly appreciated. One other reminder is for you guys to keep in mind that we do have a 30% off sale going right now, and it ends on January 2nd. So if you guys want to buy some sounds, now is the time to do it. Just head over to the MachineMasters.com store, and when you check out, use the code HOLIDAY to get 30% off the entire store. Okay, so now on to the review. So today we got a pretty major sample pack release, and it comes from none other than Tim Kelly, who is one half of the legendary production duo Tim and Bob. Now these two dudes are responsible for a crazy amount of records going all the way back to the early 90s all the way up to today. And when you start looking at the stuff they did, you start thinking like, damn, they did that? Oh, damn, they did that? I didn't even know that. You know, they did so many records, and you know, all classic material. And together, these two are responsible for over 400 million record sales worldwide, which is crazy. And there's really no need to even sit here and name drop all the artists that they work with, because chances are, if you point out any major artists going all the way back to maybe the early 90s, these dudes did a beat for them, or wrote lyrics for them, or both. So yeah, these dudes are the real deal. And the good news is, now Tim has decided to share this sound with you guys. And the name of this sample pack is called Decade Sound Collection, which happens to be the first of many kits that Tim plans to put out. And to put icing on the cake, the entire sample pack is 100% royalty free. So guys, feel free to use them however you want, wherever you want. All right, so enough talk, let's jump right into the beat, and then we'll jump into the sample pack. So the first thing I usually do when I make these beats is I go through the sounds and I pick out the ones that I think I might want to use. And then I'll use a program called Key Finder, and that's gonna tell me which key each of the samples are in. And then once I chop them up, I can pitch shift them and make each of the samples that I use match and be in the same key. So the first sample I used is called 112, and you can see that the key that it's in is B flat minor. So this is the original sample. All right, so yeah, that's the first sample, and one thing I forgot to mention is that these are all brand new compositions. These are not from Tim and Bob's catalog. These are all brand new sounds. So I chopped it up like this. All right, so that's how I chopped it up, and this is how I sequenced it. All right, so yeah, that was how I chopped it up and sequenced it, and that sample was pitched down from B flat minor to A flat minor. All right, so let's go to the next sound. So this is the original sample. All right, so you can see that sample is originally in E flat minor, and I pitched it to A flat minor, chopped it up. This is what it sounds like, chopped. All right, so that's chopped and pitched to A minor, and this is how it is laid over the main sample. Yeah, so that's how it is. It just basically gives it a nice little ambiance. And I kind of filtered out a lot of the low end from that sample because I wanted to put a different bass line on it, and I didn't want it to clash. So from there, I started with one of the drum breaks, and this is basically how I chopped it up. And then I layered some more drums, a kick, a snare, and then another hi-hat. And this is what all the drums sound like. You hear a little, kind of like a little drummer boy snare roll in there. I basically did that with the main snare on 16 levels. Basically, that's all I did. And then I layered another snare on it, on top of that too. So all right, so then from there I used a vocal sample. Didn't really do much to this other than match the pitch. This was just a one-shot sample, so it wasn't really anything to chop, and I just kind of threw it on there and gave it a little 16 levels. The next sample I used was, I called it a Kalimba, but it was basically just another sample that I chopped up from the pack called Reminisce Over You, and this is the original sample. It was actually more to that, but that's all I kept from it. All right, so then I chopped that up. And I kind of made it like more like a percussive type of sound than more of an instrument. And this is what it sounds like. All right, so the next sound I used was, it sounds like an organ, but it's another one of the samples called Finally Found You. This is the sample. All right, and this one was originally in G minor, so I moved it over to A minor, or A flat minor, chopped it up. And kind of just sprinkled it in, you know, a little bit on top. So then from there, I went to some sound effects that are also available in the pack. And just threw them in there randomly. All right, so for my last sound of the beat, I actually went to a VST called Sample Tank, and I played a bass line on the keyboard. So this is the bass line that I picked, and this is what it sounds like. All right, so that was pretty much the complete beat. Then I made a little intro for it. This is what the intro sounds like going into the beat. So yeah, that's basically the whole beat. I hope you guys like what I did with it. So now let's jump into the sample pack, and I'll show you guys what's gonna be included with the kit when you get it, all right? All right, so you got 5 different folders full of sounds, and it starts from the 80s, goes to the 90s, the 2000s, and then you got some one-shots, and then some random samples with some drums on them. All right, so let's go to the 80s sound first, and you got your drum loops, and then you got your melodies. Real nice dirty drums. And these drums come from his MPC 3000 as well as his SP 1200. And that's the one I used in this beat. Man, you guys should be able to do some some monsters with these, man. And this dude, Tim, is pretty much nasty on any instrument you give him. He played all this stuff. You guys heard this one already in the beat. All right, so let's move on to the 2000s. Dirty. Heard that one in the beat. So let's go to the one shots, and it's a whole bunch of just drums in here, 808s. Some claps. A bunch of really dope effect samples. Some hi-hats. kicks. Some percussion sounds. All right, and then the vocal samples. All right, so then we got the last folder, samples with drums. And this is basically demos of the sample pack with drums on it, so to give you guys an idea of how to use the sample pack. So we won't go through this too much, but all right, guys, so that's the whole pack. I hope you guys like what you heard. If you did, make sure you head over to MachineMasters.com right now. Pick up your copy, make some hits. You guys should be able to make some incredible bangers, you know, with this pack. It's so much usable stuff in here. I think you guys are really gonna enjoy it. Again, don't forget to rate, leave a comment, subscribe, hit that like button. Make sure you guys have a happy and safe New Year's. And I'll see you guys in 2017. All right, peace.